Streaming to over 180 countries around the world.
Getting down and dirty with everything crypto.
Everything crypto. And bringing your daily fix of Web3 analysis and news.
Brought to you by the Crypto Magazine and your hosts,
Jay Chains and Mr. Dude. Buckle up, settle down, and let's grow.
Yeah. Let's get it. We got to pause that music. Well, that pause didn't work. My goodness. What's up, guys? What a technical kind of disaster to start the show. Wouldn't expect anything less for a Monday, especially election week. I mean, I think volatility in the markets, volatility with technology, volatility with this show. I think it's what we should expect. I am pitting like crazy. Absolutely crazy. If you guys are watching the live stream, you can check it out. But that doesn't mean anything. We are excited that it's Monday, guys. While we fill in, happy Monday, by the way. I think this is going to be a very fun show. I imagine there'll be a bunch of things that we can talk about. Obviously, it's election week. A lot of things going on with the markets. It's currently dipping 68, 635. We were over 69 again this morning. But I still have my hope that I'm going to catch my low order today. Unless we decide that it's going to be like a really, really bad red day, that kind of volatility, then, it may be wise to hold off. But I'm looking forward to our discussion about all of that stuff today. But good morning, GM. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where you're coming from. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are watching on the live stream, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like. Thank you so much. If you are watching on X, hit the heart. Real easy. I like to think it's easy. You just twist your phone, bada boom, bada bing. You can hit the heart. Do the things. And if you are down in the space, right? If you're listening, go ahead, go to the bottom right, hit what we call the multiplier, and tag some friends. Bring some more people in here. This is Web3 Breakfast. We come to you every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The Monday shows are absolutely a pleasure of mine and Mr. Dudes and everybody else in our community, because we got a nice little partnership with Crypto Mag. And so we run these special eps on Monday. And so we're thankful that you guys are here. And so, again, reward yourself a little pat on the back by smashing the like, do those things. Shout out really quick to our faithfuls, the most loyal of all of them, our YouTube listeners and watchers. You guys are the real heroes, the unsung heroes. There'll be a giveaway for you guys this week. I am going to focus on it. And so my YouTube fam, you guys are going to be rewarded big time this week. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that. You can actually, this is Jay Chains, by the way, and I'm the host, and I am co-hosted with Mr. Dude, and again, the rest of our great community. But if you need to figure out how to find that link, you could go to my YouTube, or to how to get to my YouTube channel. You can just go to the pinned post on my X profile. And from there, you'll start to figure out exactly who's doing what in our ecosystem. We've got a fun-packed week that we've got throughout the week. Got NFT Tuesdays, if you will. We got Carrie. He's in our community. He spearheads that. We've got Web3 gaming on Wednesdays with a game night on Wednesday night. We got Mike, the Modern Canadian, who is the runner for that. Thursday, we talk about RWAs and Bitcoin. We've got the Chop Shop Thursday night with Mr. Dude and I. And then Friday is obviously our pizza party. So appreciate everybody being here. We see quite a few people popping into the space. So thank you so much. Go ahead and hit the heart button for yourself for being here. You can be anywhere in the world, and you probably are somewhere else in the world, but you're here listening. So, hey, thank you. Let's go. Are we going to have a good show or what?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's been better than how I feel, that's for sure. Freaking been sick all weekend. But we got some content out. I think I predicted the results of the election with that last video I made.
Ooh.
Did you see the off-the-grid skins with the Kamala and the Trump skins? It's freaking hilarious.
I did not. I have to check that stuff out. And this is for off the grid, so we've got some skins. So what was your prediction? What do you think?
I think we're gonna have a Trump victory.
Boom, just like that.
There you go. Predicted. You hear it from the Canadians. The Canadian. Now, what is like? Do other Canadian? You know, it's funny. I've seen a lot of the posts, and I actually laugh so hard. And I wanted to actually do like a funny one for myself too, because I am from the U.S. But I love these people that say like, "Hey, I'm from Germany. Happen to be visiting the States. You guys don't require IDs, and so I decided to vote in your election." I thought that those are actually pretty funny to me. I don't know why it's funny that.
Dude, I saw that. I saw posts on Canadians. There's like a whole group called Canadians for Trump, and they're like going across the border to go vote for Trump.
I mean, like, is that like real that people can actually grab a ballot and vote with no? I mean, that's.
I think certain states like don't require ID or something, but then I'm pretty sure it's most states require ID.
Yeah, I mean, it's a federal election, so it should be every state, but whatever. At the end
But
of the day,
it's absolutely stupid.
It's crazy that this is where the United States, like, we argue if like we're the world superpower, yet we're just complete derelicts when it comes to our election. That to me doesn't quite make sense. But hey, at the end of the day, that's what blockchain is for. And if we play our cards right, boys and girls, if we play our cards right, I think one day we could actually successfully implement blockchain into our voting system. Maybe one day. Not in probably the lifetime of any of us or any current politician runs, but hey, it is what it is. I
don't know, man. We have to. We have to implement it. It's the only way.
I do want to say I probably should. I don't know if I need to say this, but I'm gonna say this, that the thoughts and opinions that are expressed from me today are not necessarily the same thoughts and opinions that are expressed by Crypto Mag. I just, there's probably a disclaimer that should be present. I'm not sure if that was necessary or not, but there you go. You get it. Just in time. Nathan walked into the room. Hey, Nathan, I gave everybody a disclaimer that potentially, because we're talking about election stuff, that what I'm saying may or may not, it's definitely my words. So just the old quick disclaimer. You want to come up here and hang? Yeah, here we go. And that goes for anybody else. This is, one of the things that we do with the Web3 Breakfast is that we like to pride ourselves in that it is everybody's voice and opinion matters, right? Even if it is a difference of opinion, we're still, welcoming to anybody up to the stage. We just ask that you are respectful, especially if you are a difference of opinion type of person. But that's it. Like, that's totally cool. We're all adults here at the end of the day, and I think just navigating a civil discourse, even in a hot topic like the U.S. presidential election, I think is something we can handle because we are grown adults, baby. Nathan.
Hey. Yeah, it looks like I jumped in at the right time.
Absolutely. How are you?
Yeah,
How was your
was
vacation, by the way?
Yeah, it was good. It was. I had a couple of emergencies, so I had to take 2 days. I had to cut it short by a couple of days. It's only 7 days away, but I was still had my finger in. Was still working and doing bits, but I had 2 days where I just said, look, I've got to get back to it. I can't be sitting here. But it was nice spending a few days with the family and the kids. They, unfortunately, in this space, as you guys know, they don't get to spend a lot of time with you, but because it takes up so much of your time in Web3. Oh. But yeah, no, it was good. Thanks for asking. It's very long overdue. But yeah, no, in regards to what you were saying, just as I joined there, I had someone message me a little while ago about one of the spaces that we've done and just said, look, why are you getting all political? You guys should stay neutral. And I said, look, ultimately, the Web3 politics is playing a huge part in Web3. As the Crypto Mag, as a publication, we need to draw attention to that. Mm. We neither publicly, I mean, I've got my own personal opinions, but as a publication, we neither support or endorse either party. We all know kind of what the best for the industry could be, but it's our opinion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it gets a bit tricky when you start getting into politics. Yeah, it was the same with religion. Politics and religion is always going to be divisive.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and it's probably a really easy way for us just to sway the conversation. And you know, what do we, as far as volatility goes, what do we expect? You know, either way, one way or the other, right? Like, because no matter, and you have to think, most of us, again, we talk about being adults. Most of us have lived through several, you know, presidents here in the United States or your respective countries, whatever happens to be. And throughout your duration, you have obviously seen both sides of the spectrum, right? And for the most part, within the exception of a few countries where things are vastly different than, you know, maybe things are here in North America or in Europe, in parts of Europe at least, you know, we've seen Democrats and Republicans. We've seen both sides, right? And so we're all doing okay still for the most part. There's a lot of, you know, social ideals that, you know, some people cling to. And I think at the end of the day, like what Nathan says is really what a lot of us feel is we are in crypto. All of us are here one way, shape, or form because we believe in what crypto is, or blockchain, or decentralization, or whatever it may be, right? The Web3 gaming, that may be what attracts you, or the pictures, or whatever, right? Whatever brought you into this space. But it's an important time for us. And, you know, we've been humbled by, and we've talked about this before, we've been humbled by several people that say, like, you know, your election doesn't decide what happens in crypto. And I firmly believe that, right? And I think that that's really important, that crypto and Bitcoin are going to go on regardless of what happens. Like, whoever becomes the president here in the United States, like, Bitcoin is still going to go up. Crypto is still going to see a bull run, right? Some things may be different, but some things won't be different. And I think, you know, that's an important thing. That's an important lesson. But at the end of the day, a pro crypto administration, maybe it guides things in a little bit easier over the next 4 years versus a little bit rocky, or, you know, we see a lot of innovation and get stifled and pushed away. So again, regardless of what happens over the next several days, guys, crypto is still going to go. We're still going to have a bull run. We're still going to be giga chad millionaires. Some of you nerds are going to get girlfriends, which I'm super excited for you. Some of you won't, because you'll fumble the bag like you will with crypto. That's just what happens. But some of you, I'm really excited, because I know what this means for most of you is that, like, you get to move out of mom's basement. You get like maybe like a first car. It'll be like a Lamborghini or something, you know, like a Ferrari or whatever.
Something stupid. Yeah.
You know, and then you're going to get
Something
like
stupid, so
like
that
a
the
giga hot
next bear run,
girlfriend.
you're back in your mom's basement.
Yeah, but just don't fumble the bag, because in 4 years you'll be back saying, Mom, Dad, fumbled the bag.
I tell you, my first car, yeah, this blows my mind. We was talking about this the other day, kind of first car. And I was talking to a few guys in their 20s, go, yeah, my first car was this. How do you get that as your first car? And again, it all is dead down to crypto. They earn a bit of money. My first car cost me £300. I wrote it off in 2 weeks. But it would, you go, well, that's the industry we're in. It is life changing. Like £300. I knew very few people that had a car worth any more than £1,000 when I first started driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, my first car. Let's see. I turned 16 in what? 82, 16, whatever that was. Like 1998, right? 1998. My first car, I believe, was a 92 Geo Prism. Called it the 9 Deuce Prizach. And we, like, in shop class, I was in, like, you know, autos class at that point, and we, like, chopped off the exhaust system and made it so loud, like obnoxiously loud. We had so much fun with the 9 Deuce. Same thing. Spent, like, you know, my parents, I don't remember what it was, but it was, you know, they weren't expensive cars back then. That was not the thing. But now, again, these guys for their first cars are going to get Lamborghinis and Teslas and all sorts of cool stuff. I'm really excited for you guys. The bull run's happening. It's soon too.
Nah, forget that. I had an 82 Camaro, man. $1,500.
Nice.
That's all I needed. T-tops, bright blue. I stripped it down. There wasn't nothing but seats and a radio in that thing. I was getting ready to soup it up, and then a dude T-boned me.
Oh, darn it. Oh, man, I did not do the sports car back in the day. My buddy had the 89 Mustang GT, the 5.0, the 5.0, and that thing was fun to just go rip around on the track and have some fun with it.
Yeah, those were really cool cars. Big time in the drag racing scene.
I think the first decent car I got, I was about 19, 20, and I bought a 2-liter twin cam 16 valve Toyota Celica. You know, with the flip up lights.
Oh yeah.
It was a 1987. I felt like the man in that thing. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
You guys remember remember the seatbelts that would like go from the front to the back? They'd be like the strangler. You'd be like, ah! The automatic seatbelt.
Yeah.
Oh man, those were the days. I see a
I used to see at a local gas station just turning the headlights on and off, and you go up, then down, just so everyone knew I'd flip up lights. I'm like, yeah, look at my cool car.
I had when I was thinking my senior year summer into my freshman year in college, I think I got a Talon, an Eagle Talon. I thought the Mitsubishi Eclipse was a little gay, a little girly, so I got the Eagle Talon instead, and that's the one that I had my system in. But the one thing that I wish that it did have, but it didn't, was those flip up lights, because I thought that was like, if you had flip up lights back then, man, shit was badass. That was the thing.
I can't believe you just brought up a Talon, man. One of my best friends in grade school, dad had one, and I was like, that's the coolest shit ever.
Dude, it was so cool. It was way better than the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Although, in retrospect, I think the Eclipse was better. But I mean, this thing had the dual overhead cam, and this thing was great. And I had a JL Audio 12 with a Rockford Fosgate, like a jillion watt amp or whatever it was. This thing, man, I used to love just bumping in that little thing, like rattle the mirror right off. What? Those are the
days. I remember bouncing shoes on top of my truck, man. Being stupid with speakers. I wish I had my hearing back now.
So what do we think is going to happen tomorrow with the market after the election?
Well,
I feel like it's kind of like, I feel like a safe assumption is that if we have a huge dump today, I feel like we don't have a worse dump tomorrow. But I just, like, if I'm someone who's unsure, and maybe I'm not American, maybe I'm not like pro either side, right? Where I'm like, oh, I'm so certain this person's going to win. It could make sense for people to sell a bunch today, hoping that it goes down tomorrow either way, and then they buy back in.
It's just,
like, I don't know, because I don't trade. It's like it's really hard, but it makes sense with so much uncertainty. You know, one site says Harris, one site says Trump, blah, 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 right? Depending on where you're reading, where it's like, well, I can cash out now if I'm up 5-10 grand. And then if it drops 10 grand, then I can buy back in and get more. But it's tough.
I think what I would say, my advice throughout all of this was, if you are a spot position person, just sit on it. It could happen so fast that it's not worth doing anything. Don't change anything if you're a spot person, if you're just sitting on your bags. If you're a trader beware, man. It's going to be volatile, but I think, that's the whole point, is that there's a lot of money to be made when there is a lot of volatility, right? When you have those big moves. And so, if you're patient, you're setting the things that you got to do to be the trader that you are. Again, there's no strategy, I think, that's unanimous or universal between one person and the other, right? Like, everybody kind of does things a little different. Everybody's got a little bit of time differently in the market, or a different perspective. You may be a little bit more bullish. You may be a little bit more bearish. You may still have that PTSD that you're trying to shake off because of the bear market. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of factors that are going to go into like your different trading style. And so that whole thing, man, there's really no advice that you could give anybody for that. But as far as advice for spot positions, just hodl, baby. Just hodl, because it's going up irregardless of what happens over the next week. Matty J, what's up, fam?
I love this space. It's so well run. I like the topic, because I think if Harris gets in, it's going to turbo dump, but kind of briefly. I think it'd be a good opportunity to buy if Harris gets in, and the market. I think the market will absolutely dump hard if Harris wins, but it'll only be temporary.
Yeah,
because America's going to keep printing,
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good. You think about the different ways, and again, no matter what happens, crypto is going to pump. You just people may have a better chance to get in at another. We call these catalysts, or sometimes, depending on the severity, black swans, right? Where we see a big shift in the market one way or the other. and potentially you could see a big sell-off. But I think that it would be very, very fast. And that's why I said, if you're a spot person, don't do anything, because it's going to be a fast move. It's going to be hot and heavy, and then it's going to continue to move forward. Because again, we've got to think, and this is like you got to think about like XRP in this whole thing, right? Like XRP says they don't care about the SEC because what they're doing is larger, right? They've got access to the rest of the world, which if the US is not, if they're not going to play ball with XRP doesn't care, because the rest of the world and where the rest of the world is taking blockchain and crypto is much farther and faster than what we've got here. So like Brad said, like, I don't care what the SEC says. Like, first off, they're going to beat it. We all know that. And that's fine. And the appeal, whenever, I think what they got, till January 15th or 25th now to like finalize their stuff. If I'm not mistaken, we can get to that in a little bit. But Hash, I know you got your hand up. What's up, brother?
What's up? I think hedging, this is like actually where hedging comes in. If you're one of those people who is American, you really believe either Trump or Harris is going to win, you have a conviction whether the market is going to go up or down, do the opposite. Just a little bit. just
counter trade yourself.
Just in case you're wrong. It's not even counter trading, it's hedging. That's what hedge, in my mind, that's the simplest explanation of hedging, right? Like, you're pretty sure that price is going to go up. But if it does go down, and this can be both for spot traders and for leverage traders, whoever you are, have some money on this. If you think the price is going to go up, have some money on the side, put in some spot positions at some places that you'd be happy with buying Bitcoin, 65,000, 62,000, 58,000. If the price is going to go up, who cares? You're not going to fill those positions. It's not going to matter. But at the same time, if you're wrong, you're going to be really happy that you have those spot positions in. You're not going to have to think about it, because Jay Chains is right. It's going to be so fucking fast that you're not going to be able to catch the wick unless you're literally sitting there watching it happen, and even then you might miss it. Now, as far as the leverage side goes, same thing. If you're in a long position expecting that, hey, Trump's going to win, we're going to fucking Valhalla, okay, well, maybe put a little short position in. Maybe. Put a nice, healthy stop loss of, like, I don't know, 30%, 20%, whatever you're comfortable with. But if the market goes down, at least you're going to win on one side of the trade, which again limits your upside, sure, but it also limits your downside. So I would say that this is like when markets are really volatile and you're not trying to, again, make a lot of money off the volatility and or lose a lot of money off the volatility, because although, yes, it's a huge opportunity to make money, it's also a huge opportunity to lose money. So I would say being conservative, not as a voter, although, hey, up to you, is, for me, what I like to do. So I'm going to be able to sit back, not look at the chart, and know that, hey, if we go to 58, I'm going to fill a position. And if we go to 75, I'm going to close the position on leverage. And hey, if we go to 65, I'm going to buy a Bitcoin. God, I wish. And if we go to 75, well, then great, my Bitcoins are worth more money. I think that it's, again, hedging, conservative play is what's best for me. If you want to go and be a hyper gambler, hey, the next 2 days are for you.
Yeah, that's a fact. And speaking of, I do just want to bring up a little information, just for the gamblers and some of the degens, and just the curious. I did just open up Polymarket presidential election winner 2024. You got 3.1 billion. That's with a B. $3.1 billion in volume on Polymarket. Currently, you've got Trump sitting at 58.7 and Kamala Harris sitting at 41.3. So, like, for example, you talk about hedging a bet. Say you wanted to go long with your crypto bag account, right, in your normal trading account, and because you're fully expecting something. All right, cool. Well, say you decided to put in $100 on Polymarket that Kamala Harris would win as just a hedge, and we're just going to put in $100 right now as just the example, right? But you would win 241. So say something like that did happen, you could put in a little money on the side to see what happens there, but still have your leverage long going in case things absolutely rip.
That's a good idea.
See, I'm thinking like it doesn't matter what party wins. They're both parties are going to print the money regardless. So the underlying fact is we're going to print. But what I'm looking actually towards is the actual rate cut this week. I think the 6th and 7th is the potential rate cut, and we're looking at maybe a 0.5 rate cut, and that's directly going to lead to a pump. It's just a matter of when. I think early in the month we could have a dump, which kind of is what we've been having a little bit. But if you look on the daily trend, we're still on a clear uptrend. So I think maybe mid to late November we might just continue going up in this trend.
I mean, at the end of the day, like that's one thing you have to. I love that you said that, Mike, because you have to, when in doubt, you zoom out, right? And you say like, "Oh man, things are kind of crazy right now." But if you do look at the chart and say you go on a weekly, right? You go all the way back to. Let's take a look at this because it's actually we're into 2023, still kind of going up. Right. And so I'd have to take a look at the chart because this is a perpetual futures chart that I'm looking over on TradingView right now. But I mean, like if you look at the weekly and you put a line from, early 2023 to where we are now, like we're way up. Like we're way up. We're like from, what is this chart that I'm looking at particularly starts in October of 2022. The Bitcoin price was 20,000. Now we did see it drop down into the teens, right? Towards the tail end of 2022. But all right, let's use that as our metric. From the tail end of 2022, we were in the teens to now we're touching almost 70,000, almost at all-time high. When in doubt, zoom out, guys. Things are on the way up.
That is fucking crazy. Like from the standpoint of like, obviously we all like are here daily, right? So we literally live it daily.
Mm-hmm.
It is wild that Bitcoin has gone up $50,000 a Bitcoin. And we as like a collective crypto community panic.
Yeah, I got PTSD and like, year after year, Bitcoin's just like crushing it. Go ahead. Hey, what's up, my guy? This William.
Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up, Mr. Marauder?
Yeah, man. I just saw the show on YouTube, man. I just wanted to stop by and say, hey, I also agree with everything everyone's saying. In all honesty, the only things I'm really looking at are what Canadian said, that the Fed rate cut, as well as the M2 money supply chart. So if you just type in M2 money supply in Google, you'll see it pop up on the St. Louis Fed and website. It's basically the Federal Reserve like research site. And it's going up, man. They're printing more money. More money's getting back in the system. Means all assets are going to pump. If you're holding cash, if you're holding too much cash, you're not going to be in a good position. So, just saying. Be wary of that for sure. The elections, the election I feel like will matter in the short term. Like just like we talked about, like we might have like a crazy pump or we might have a crazy dip, depending on who wins. But in the end, regardless of who wins, we're going sky high for sure.
Darn right, man. I love that we're all like we're bullish, right? Now, does anybody, I talk about kind of still having that PTSD as a trader, right? Like where you're like, it's gonna dip at some point. Is everybody shaking off? Are we starting to shake off the bear market vibes, and we're really starting to feel bullish?
It's gonna dip regardless, right? Like it's never always. I think that's the thing is we are all like seasoned people where it's like let's just say it rips to 100,000 and then it goes back to 95,000. Like that's still a dip.
Right.
And some people will be like, oh, it's crashing. But it's like, no, it's like, it can't, like, people are going to sell and make money. So it's going to go down. Does it stay down for a week, a month, whatever? Like, it goes back up.
Whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and for anyone who understands monetary policy too, like at monetary and fiscal policy, like you hope for dips. You pray for dips. Like I pray for dips all the time. I'm like, if Bitcoin went down to 40K, I'd be like, oh my God, thank the Lord. I can buy it at 40K now. Like, holy crap. Like it's on sale because I don't like what scares me is holding on to too much cash. That literally terrifies me.
Right. Because your cash actually it doesn't go down per se, but what you are able to buy with it decreases.
Yeah, so if you like, that's what I'm saying. If you understand monetary and fiscal policy and like how money works, like how fiat currency works, then you hope for discounts, you hope for deals, like you hope that the stock market crashes because you're like, oh, dude, I'm going to buy so much now. Like I got all this cash just sitting here. I'm going to go use it, deploy it, and buy and own more assets.
See, the way I look at money is I look at money like energy, right? Money's energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So you move your money in and out of things. Right now, I think crypto is the best bet. It's the best, fastest horse in the race to get mass as much capital as possible. But soon it's not going to be. Like we're going to be at the end of the bull market, by the end of 2025, maybe 2026. And then, then you're going to want to sell, get into cash, and follow the business cycle and maybe put into something else, another venture that's going to, yield you more return until it's time to be back in crypto again.
Right. And the key like takeaway from what you said is being in cash for a little amount of time as possible before like cashing it out and putting it into an investment, or cashing it out and putting it back into crypto.
Yeah, you got to keep moving your money. Again, there's multiple different investments, different income streams. So, there's times to be in certain markets and times not to be, right?
So
I mean, dude, the timing the market's so hard though. Like, you hear the famous Warren Buffett quote, like, don't like, what is it? Time in the market is like more effective than timing the market, right?
Sure.
So, like, in my opinion, it shouldn't really matter where you buy necessarily. Just buy consistently and believe in that thing and have conviction in it. Like, I started buying Bitcoin like years ago, and I literally started dumping like $10 a week into it because that's all I could afford at the time, But then obviously, like, I ramped up my purchasing, my amounts bought and whatnot over time, but like even that small tiny amount of money, like even $5 a week, $10 a week, it adds up and makes a difference. I just worry for people that don't have any investments because they get screwed over. Everyone who's just saving their cash, or people who are living paycheck to paycheck, they're the ones that get screwed over. And so they can't necessarily time the market. So they should be going in and just finding these, like, maybe they believe in the S&P 500. Cool. Like, buy into that on a regular basis, regardless of oh, is it down today? Is it up? Like, don't trade it.
Right.
You're going to waste so much time and so much money trying to trade stuff, trying to time things.
Yeah.
Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah, 100%, man. Something we should also be thinking about when you're talking about sitting on cash. Look at, I think recently, if I'm not mistaken, there was some articles and some headlines and some ruckus about Warren Buffett sitting on, potentially like a quarter or more than that, $250 billion worth of cash. Just got out of a lot of his positions. Very interesting that someone like him would shift a lot of cash. Now, I do expect a lot of volatility probably in the standard financial markets as well. But let's see, Matty J, you got your hand up, brother. What do you got to say? Matty J, you're on mute, I think, still.
Back dollar from the BRICS countries.
Start
Sorry, my
your
bad.
point over.
How do we feel about a potential? How are we feeling when we're talking about money? So I've got to ask. There's some big brains in here. I'd like to ask you a question. How are we feeling about the evolution of the BRICS countries and the chatter around a gold-backed BRICS dollar? And I mean, is that an opportunity that you guys are looking at? For gold in the future, because I think that would have.
Well, unfortunately, BRICS. Yeah, I'm American, so BRICS is trying to de-dollarize the world. So, the thing is that you do have to see is there is a lot of support. I believe, again, somebody can fact check me on some of these statistics that I give out. I try to just go off the cuff. I don't want to like stall too much, but like it's something like 150 something countries out of 195 countries. It may be even more than that are participating or have interest in participating in the BRICS system. It's a lot of countries that we've been sanctioning. It's a lot of countries that we've treated like shit. It's a lot of countries that are sick and tired of having to deal with that kind of stuff. And so, they come together and create their own solution. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think ultimately, if the BRICS dollar again has backing with Bitcoin and gold, and that becomes a success, no matter what the United States is trying to accomplish, we would have to do something very similar. And you see Trump and Kennedy both at the convention in Nashville talked about the strategic reserve of Bitcoin, kind of saving what we've got. Who knows if that's actually going to be something that they do. What the entire plan is, moving forward with that, but it's going to be react and adapt, or you don't survive this new economic system. I believe
the United States has gone to war over less.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget that. Like, the global monetary system being taken from the biggest military power in the world is not something that is going to just happen.
The military industrial complex won't allow it, right?
Yeah, and America's the largest bag holder of Bitcoin. So if BRICS is just like, well, we're going to use Bitcoin, America's just like, okay, cool. We're your biggest bag holder.
Floor that shit. It is
Right?
Yes.
Like they do they're being smart. So China and Russia, and let's just call them like essentially like the enemies of the Western world in quotes. Like, okay, cool, you guys go ahead and make up your system. Like we've been buying it up and literally stealing it from your hackers for years.
I think we've also got to understand, and I think a lot of people make this misconception, is there are a lot of countries that are interested in becoming part of BRICS that are allies of the UK, allies of the US. I think people just assume, oh, like it's a block of our enemies. It's really not. And any decisions that will be made there, obviously that will be taken into account. How will this affect our allies if we go down this route or that route? They're not all kind of enemies of like Western nations.
I love that.
That was a conversation killer.
No, no, I
No,
was
you're totally
looking-
right. Like I think that's the big thing is who over 40 have expressed interest. And like some of them, yeah, are allies. And I just think it's kind of like life. Like, so they're allies. So they're essentially, let's call them friends. Like if we give every country like an actual independent personality in life, like sometimes you're okay with your friends going off and doing other things. And until it like literally affects your actual livelihood is where eventually you draw lines in the sand based on your belief systems. So like, yeah, it's okay, cool. You guys want to go and use some other money? Like some of them are big powerhouses and some of them are just like your money's worthless anyway. So sure, go ahead. Still going to be worthless compared to our dollar. It's just a different kind of worthless when our citizens go and travel in your country. They have to exchange it for the brick whatever instead of like rupees or whatever the other dollar that they're changing it into.
Yeah, that BRICS dollar.
Yeah, like it's different. And I think like Canada, obviously, like being like, we're so close with America and a lot of our stuff ties in together regardless of like actual beliefs of like our countries is like, yeah, well, what else are they going to change it to? Oil? Like we got tons of that too. Like they just want to start trading in fucking fresh water. We got tons of that too. It's like there are other ways around a few countries banding together and saying like, well, we're going to change the dollar. It's like, okay, well, like some of it's believe it when you see it, or like when we get to a point where it's like, okay, like now shit's got to be taken seriously. It's similar to Trump saying, I love Bitcoin. The Democrats are like, shit, we love Bitcoin too.
We're going to come speak at the Bitcoin conference too. No, you're not.
Right. So like sometimes maybe the BRICS thing forces, the United States and their dollar to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, cool. Well, we got to do something.
A reality check. I mean, it's one of the things that Cuba is one of the countries that was accepted in this last meeting that they just had over in Russia, I believe. Was, if I'm not mistaken, that's where they had their meeting. Kazan, Russia, in October. So this last month. So 13 new partner countries were accepted. So you got Algeria, Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Turkey, Uganda, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam. And that's on top of the 9 already. You got 5 original BRICS, obviously Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and then 4 new ones from January of 2024: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Which, by the way, I got to take some photos this week. So the official announcement from Crypto Fight Night will be coming out soon. But December 6th, Dubai, fighting for a title. It's official. Contracts are signed. Let's go. William, go for it, brother.
Just real quickly, I just thought of something pretty funny. I was just thinking like, okay, how do these BRICS nations like how do these meetings go? How do they acquire these new members? And I was just like wondering if like they had like this like catchy like one liner, and it's like, yeah, come get bricked up. Come get bricked up with us, guys. Let's all be bricked up. Let's go.
What's their motto? Yeah, it's a good one.
I think and as far as the merch goes at the conference at the end. Everybody's shirts, they say, I got bricked up at the conference and all I got was this t-shirt.
And yes. And it's just like they take the Air Jordan symbol and then he's like holding a brick. It's just like Brick City, baby.
We're bricked up. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, can you imagine like Putin and like who is the like Jin, like the Chinese leader? There's some beach like, let's go, buddy, bricked up, let's go, bricks on 3, 1, 2, 3, bricks.
Yeah, everybody gets onto like a huddle on the stage. Instead of suits, they're all wearing athletic clothes. I mean, that'd be more like a Web3 activity, right?
That would be actually a Web3 conference if they're all in like those like same color Kappa suits.
Tracksuits. We'll get them some tracksuits, some conference tracksuits. I'm a big fan of tracksuits. I don't know about you guys. I love the versatility. You could like with a tracksuit, literally you've got 3 outfits in one, right? You've got the tracksuit as an outfit. You've got the pants with a different top, and you got the top with different pants. I mean, literally one tracksuit gets you 3 outfits. How amazing is that? That's like the perfect travel companion. Now the order,
That's good.
the order in which you wear them, that's going to be tough because people will probably suspect at some point that you have worn the same thing in just 3 different ways, 3 days in a row. As long as you change your underwear, you're good.
That's what I call being bricked up right there, boys.
There you go. There's some conference lessons for you. Bring a tracksuit. Oh man, I'll tell you what. I know the chop shop's like well over, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we kind of got into business right away. Oh my God. So obviously training for that fight, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. And my last one, I didn't really get to strength train because I had to lose a lot of weight. And so I really didn't get to lift a lot. And so yesterday was a big lifting day for me. I woke up, I couldn't even straighten my arms. Like I was like one of those guys that would like walk down the hallway and be like, "Where's the gym?" Like that was me, just like normal, because my arms wouldn't bend because they were so sore. So I am feeling a little bit better now. I've got some dumbbells here, so I was doing some curls before, trying to get that lactic acid moving. Right? Whew. What do you guys know? Does anybody got some tools and tricks? Get rid of that lactic acid?
Ice bath.
Dude, yeah, ice baths or Epsom salts, man. That's how I heal myself after like soccer games and whatnot.
Epsom salt, not a grandma. All right, Mike.
Hey man, whatever works.
I am just...
Hey, bath salts work pretty well too. Just try some bath salts.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be running down the street fucking naked.
Just like so Jay Chain's had sore muscles, but he turned into a zombie. Uh-oh. No.
Local man in Atlanta is running down the street naked.
I'm not Mr. Dude, okay?
Not Florida man.
Yeah. Not Corey, Florida man. Georgia man headlines are not.
Hey, whoa. I'm Florida man. Corey's the backup Florida man.
Sounds right.
I've never seen you put makeup on and look dressed like a clown because you're a Jaguars fan, though.
I haven't posted those photos on Twitter. That's why, bro.
Are you a Jags fan too?
I mean, by default, yeah, I have to be. I'm a masochist, so yeah. I mean, I was born in Jacksonville, raised in Jacksonville, so yeah, I'm a Jags fan.
Oh man, I am. I'm with you though. I'm a Bears fan, and so we started.
You know what's even worse though, Jay, is I live in Tallahassee and I went to Florida State, and Florida State's not doing too hot this season. It's tough. It's tough. Double timing it on 2 bad teams right now. It's terrible.
Damn. I don't do college. I'm off the college sauce for football. I'm just same thing, a masochist. I'm a Bears fan. Nothing I can do. I can't get it out of my blood. I'm not as like cool as a Patriots fan as Mr. Dude that, we win dynasties and championships. It's a lot easier to be a fan of a winning team.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard when everybody hates you, right? All you have is your championships to console you.
You just sit there and count your rings.
Yeah, my fake rings.
Well, I'm a Maple Leaf fan, so we got to go back to 1967 for glory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, being a Leafs fan is hard.
I can imagine. I'm
about being a masochist.
We had a recent kind of a major run with the Hawks, so I'm satisfied. As far as hockey goes, for the rest of my life, I'm good. I'm good. Like I was there.
Yeah, see, that's fair. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's kind of like. I like being a Patriots fan. Like I like them when Drew Bledsoe and then Tom. Like you just accept that. Like, hey, like you can't win all the time, and you have the opportunity to have like the greatest player from a sport on your team, and then they're gone, and like, all right. got to take our lumps.
This is the crazy thing about sports, though. It's pretty cool. Like, you can have all the skill in the world, but like everything's got to, like, that year you're gonna win the championship. Everything's got to go your way. Like, good calls and stuff like that. Like look at when the Raptors won the NBA title. I think it's called the Larry Brown, right? You had that Kawhi shot, and you had, like, good refs, and then you got injuries with Golden State, and how everything kind of just went their way. And it's funny, like any sport. That's why I love sports, right? Because like you get to the finals, and it doesn't matter who's the best, because if someone has a bad call, it can change the whole game, or an injury or something like that.
I'll tell you what, man, it literally is the exact, you were basically speaking a metaphor for a crypto bull run, which we are about ready to experience, right? Like, no matter what we do, no matter what, and now there's going to be coins that are not going to perform as well as the market will, right? But at the end of the day, all that, and this is my bring it back moment so we can talk about crypto again and the bull run. And I think, we're talking pre-election crypto market moves and all that stuff, not necessarily talking about the election, but I think, when we bring it back to crypto and we talk about the bull run and maybe some best practices of what people can be doing over the course of the next several weeks, depending on if it's starting to take profits, if we think that, you want to be scaling into bigger positions, scale out of certain positions you have, or say you're believing in the NFT system, you want to get out of the coins. So again, you want to scale out of your positions and start getting into your NFTs. Somebody was talking to me about that recently, in using the Bored Apes as the example. And I do kind of believe that when the NFT ecosystem does come back, when this does become that full circle moment, that there will be certain collections that are going to rise back up. And Yuga, whether they've lost their way or they'll refine it or whatever, I think the Bored Apes, because of just the premier collection that it was, the psychology behind it, I think we'll see that go up. But what do you guys think about that kind of stuff, like moving into 2025? Because before we know it, right, obviously November just started, and the way that time is moving on us now, 2024 is going to be over in no time, and we'll be here 2025. The bull run will be kicked off. We'll all be, giga Chad millionaires again. And again, some of y'all get girlfriends, all that kind of stuff. But what are some of your best strategies for taking your wealth? Because remember, it's easy to make money in a bull run. It's hard to keep it. So what are going to be some of your best strategies moving forward? Obviously you've got weeks, maybe months, potentially up to a year before you really have to worry about this. But part of winning is having a plan. So, what are some of our best practices? I think Matty J, you had your hand up first, and then we'll swing it on over to Mike.
This is my jam. I love the NFT market. I saw the NFT market in 2021, and then I saw it in 2022. We saw it in 2023, and just like what I look at the NFT market as the last leg of the cryptocurrency market bull run, and what you've got is millions of degens who make stupid money on meme coins. They're not satisfied. They want a new market, and the market's going to heat up, and they're going to say, okay, NFTs are getting hot, and they are going to look at the NFT market for the next. They're going to be so hungry. They've just had a 50x on some shit coin, and they're going to say to themselves, oh shit, I can still get a 10x out of this money. And they're going to go looking for that next hit, that next dopamine hit. And they're going to and some of them are going to find it, and they're going to put it on X, and they're going to say, look at this fucking thing. I just bought a Bored Ape and I sold it for an extra $50,000 in the space of 2 hours. And yeah, I agree with you that some of those collections are going to come back because those degens, they're still here. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be pumping their bags, and the loudest communities are going to market themselves again. I mean, they're going to say, oh, look what we did. We're cool. We're still cool. We're still here. I'm a motherfucker. I'm still cool.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Or an ape or whatever.
Here's the deal.
Same with but you've got another level.
Go ahead.
You've got another level. You've got another level to the NFT market, and that's historical NFTs. The rocks. The rocks. Yeah. From like the early Bitcoin collections and all those things that have gone dormant during the bear market. Like the punks. Punks are cheap. Have you seen the price of punks?
I thought those
things are going to be a forever investment like a Bitcoin. They're never going to fade. They don't.
I think you and I have a
When I say cheap, what are they
something
worth?
you've got to
100
relate.
grand? I think that's cheap. You're going to see these OG. I would advise people start looking at the pre-2018 collections, especially on Bitcoin, because you're looking at a microscopic issuance of something incredibly collectible that's going to be relevant in what we're moving into called a
Really interesting that in my mind, for whatever reason, I thought that the floor price of the punks had held up traditionally well, but if you look at it, it has been on a absolute decline since October of 2021 when they peaked out at about 125 as the floor price. This is just an overview chart here. I'll actually pop it up on the live stream so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let me just double check. Yeah, there you go. So interesting enough, again, back in late 2021, you saw these things peak out at about 125 Ethereum for the floor, and then it's just been on a decline. Currently sitting at a 25.99 Ethereum floor for a CryptoPunk. Very interesting. I definitely had thought that it had held on a little bit better. Let's look compared to a Bored Ape, which I think we're going to see very similar decline. So that's a 10.5. Let's go on the max chart here. Yeah, worse. Technically, it's worse. They had a floor price of 153 in April of 2022. April 30th of 2022, that was my birthday. That was also the year that they released ApeCoin. It was all at the same time, and it has just been on a decline, as you guys can see since. Talking about the Bored Apes. But all of that said, and I use the Bored Ape as the example throughout all of that, is because that's me, right? I use it as the example because I am using me as the example there. I had the mutant. I got my way to a mutant in the last run. I sold it in the bear market so that I could make more money, so that this time, instead of a mutant, I can buy a Bored Ape. There's going to be a lot more people that are going to do this like I am doing it. And so that's why I think that that's a theory and a strategy that once people start pulling profits, those legacy collections that were prized to have are going to rise again, because people want that status symbol. Like, I fucking did it. You still see people post all the time, like, after 4 years of grinding, I finally got my ape, or I finally got my punk, or I finally got my penguin, whatever it is, right? Like, people are so proud to be able to take nothing and make that out of it, because that's what the collection and the community that they wanted to be in. There's no difference in this bull run, guys. People are going to take those profits and then go into that. So if you decide to front run all of that and take all of your crypto gains and buy those collections up right now while they're low, good on you, because fucking Bored Apes are not going to be 10 ETH in the near future. That's for sure. I bet they'll be, way back up above 50 again. Mike, go for it, brother.
Yeah, when we're talking about NFTs, you guys are just talking about NFT art, but gaming NFTs and assets in games, they've been thriving. I think the narrative right now is gaming is really strong, and the NFT assets in games have been on a bull run since last March. They've been doing very, very well. I'm renting my assets for $100 a month.
I know,
right? Maybe art will come back later. But gaming, I think, is doing really well right now.
That's under the radar, though. Unless you're participating in the game ecosystem, you don't know nor care about that, right? And I think that's where people that are into the gaming ecosystem, they can really start to say that kind of stuff out loud. We're like, listen, and I see, we've got some more hands. And Nathan, I definitely want you to talk about Liquid, because yes, there are other ecosystems where there's the potential to lease that kind of stuff out. But people don't understand that, and people don't get that. And I think that is one of the beauties of what we've got here. It is a great revenue stream. If I'm not mistaken, you're the one that told us that you had gotten, say it was a $30 NFT that you were able to lease out for $150 so far, something like that. Passive income streams. You buy that thing once and you can lease it out, and people can just pay you to use it, where you don't even have to think about it. People who are front running that ecosystem, and you're absolutely correct, I forgot about this because we talked about that last week for sure. People that are front running the NFT gaming in-game asset ecosystem by buying that shit up to lease it out, genius, because that's a massive opportunity. Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, you guys talking about Bored Ape. So obviously, with the launch of Liquid coming, we've had a lot of conversations. We've worked out a lot of facts, figures, numbers. I mean, Yuga Labs, the last figures that we put together, I think it was 2023 figures. They were still generating just over $900,000 a month just from Bored Ape. In fees coming in. So, I mean, they're still generating income from it. Obviously, as you know, with what we're doing with Liquid, we're placing a lot of that income back in the hands of investors and project owners. But yeah, I just want to jump in and chime in on that. But they're still kind of earning some good money. I mean, 900,000 a month, that's a ridiculous amount to be earning as a creator, but not many NFT projects have that luxury. They don't have that the luxury of being that big and being able to generate that secondary income off the back of it. Oh, have I died?
No, you didn't die. I can see Jay talking on the stream, but not on the space.
Oh,
bizarre.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, now I forgot my point. Go ahead.
It was probably really good.
It was very good.
Yeah, but no, I think with and again, what I think it was Matty was saying. I think with the launch of Liquid, and again, you guys know how passionate about it I am. I really think this is gonna. I think the platform in itself will give a resurgence to NFTs, and I completely agree with the gaming side. We're speaking to a lot of gaming companies at the moment. I think there's a lot of eyes on gaming NFTs at the moment, and I know quite a few things that are being built out there at the minute. But yeah, I'm really bullish on NFTs. Well, I'm even more bullish on Liquid and the system. But I think as word spreads, as you guys know, I think more and more people will go, well, Jesus, why would we want to buy anywhere else? Why would we want to trade anywhere else on OpenSea or Blur when we could have a liquidity-backed NFT, exactly the same collections, but we're always going to increase in price?
Mm-hmm. Dude, absolutely. And what I was saying, and to kind of just go back to it, was, you know, when the shock value of, like, say, what Yuga was making, right? And while, like, some people think that's disgusting, and to some it's a disgusting figure, right? But I think what you do is you scale that down, and for, you know, your typical creator, what that does is that shows you, like, yeah, you know, that's for, you know, the unicorn case, right? But for the individual person, like, you know, you get your share of whatever whatever you provide out there, right? And so the whole idea is that those creator royalties, that they are in perpetuity, or that you do get those crazy sums back, like if your collection, you know, gets picked up or goes viral or mainstream or whatever, however these things happen, right? If it's the cabal or whatever it happens to be, that really, like, you know, sends specific collections and not others, you know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Web3, man, I love this whole thing. Matty J, what you got for us, man?
Sorry, if I could. Sorry, I just quickly to chime in on that. Sorry, Matty, to cut you off there. I do apologise, buddy. Yeah, with what you're saying about kind of Yuga Labs and I mean, project owners need to earn money. This is something that is again, it's intrinsically flawed within the system. Once NFT projects have minted out, once they're done, the chances of them earning money ongoing is very, very slim. And because of that, they then can't, from a business aspect, they then can't reinvest back into it to grow that project anymore. The more income they're going to continuously get from their collections, the more they can invest into the marketing and the promotion and making their ecosystem bigger and better, and the more that the investors will get back. And I think that's a real flaw with how the NFT marketplaces are set up at the moment. You have to be at the very top to actually earn anything as a project. And people quite often, they'll take it out on the project owners, which I kind of disagree. It's not the project owners, not in every case. It's the industry, and it's how this has all been set up. It's the market that's flawed. It's these marketplaces. If you can create a system, and again, bringing it back to liquid NFTs, little soft shield there, but if you can bring it back and ensure that the project owners don't just need to take every penny of what their initial mint is and then walk away, because why would you ever reinvest in something that's never going to earn you money, whether you're an investor or project owner? Sorry. So I think if you can put a bigger income back into the project owner's hands, and they know that the more they throw into it and the more they throw at the project, the more they will earn consistently. I think that's kind of where the industry needs to move. And it's got to work for the project owners. They've got to be able to take an income, because if they don't, they're not going to reinvest.
Right.
Investors have to be able to earn. So it's just finding that balance, I think.
I like that, man. I agree. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, some people, and I would say for the most part, and I this is a generalization, but I would say that there's probably truth to it, is that when we saw a lot of negativity coming into the NFT ecosystem, I would blame that on inexperience, right? I would blame that on young, inexperienced, and we're going to use air quotes here, investors, with kind of their ideals and philosophies and how that was all going on, right? And so I believe that has matured and changed. When we saw the kind of the NFT ecosystem blend into the crypto scene with all these different meme coins and communities, and how they've done a really great job integrating, I feel like we saw, in some way, shape, or form, again, we're still generalizing here, in some way, shape, or form, we saw our ecosystem mature a little bit. At least take the next step. We got a long way to go, boys and girls, a long way to go. But finding this I don't know, this equal ground between the NFT bros and the coin bros, and how we integrated, I think was it was a very mutually beneficial blend that only a bear market could have afforded us. So congratulations, everyone. We're now best of friends. All right, Mr. Marauder.
Sorry, Matty. I took over Matty's slot. He was just about to talk. I apologize.
You're good.
No, you're all good, brother. No, I was just gonna say, in terms of like what I'm most bullish on this market, I mean, it's no secret. I keep preaching from the heavens about it. Like D-Pins and the RWA narrative and that whole sector of things. I mean, that with D-Pins, it just makes a lot of sense. Like, there's already existing revenues there. You don't have to establish like what the NFTs are saying. You don't have to like establish these new markets, because the markets themselves already exist. You're kind of changing the narrative around that market. You're allowing retail to tap into those revenue streams, and then hopefully over time, because they're gathering so much more data, make that data inherently more valuable and accrue more value back to them, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I'm so bullish on like those kinds of narratives, because you're already adopting like a real world, and like you're taking a real world use case and using blockchain to amplify it and like kind of spread the revenues and down to retail users, end users of these platforms. So I'm just looking at those in Bitcoin, honestly. That's what I'm looking at.
I like that. I'm with you, right? Like, I feel like everybody should, instead of, and this is, personal strategy, but I feel like it's probably something that we could talk about a little bit more too, especially as the week goes on. But, and why I think it's been great to really segment our show throughout the week with different topics is, it's really, they're each their own investment category, right? And so, like, in my opinion, I want to take just the best from each one. Like, I don't need to overly dilute or diversify myself in any one particular realm, because what's the point? And I know hedging your bet, I get that. But if you understand, if you do your research, like, let's take, for instance, let's say, and there's obviously some issues with Ondo, and we've got a big unlock coming in January, but knowing who they surround themselves with and knowing that where this potential is going in the RWA ecosystem, like, that's a great choice to be your horse in the RWA, race. And then in gaming, right? I don't know. You got IMX, even though they got their Wells notice, you got Beam, you got a lot of other, ecosystems in the gaming space. For me, like I think IMX has probably got the best future. We'll see what happens. Again, if you're getting a Wells notice, you're probably doing something right for, the SEC to come after you. But with that being said, like it's about picking the horse in the race that you think is going to perform the best, not just picking every horse. Like that's something that people got to start thinking about, because at the end of the day, like there's going to be some acquisitions happening over the next couple of years. And I think we started to see that in some of the smaller ecosystems. And so don't overly diversify yourself as you start to explore these new realms. Like if you've got more than a large percentage of your bag in meme coins, come on, buddy. Be better than that. Be better than that. Like you shouldn't have more than like 5 to 10%. 10% is a stretch. 5 to 10% of meme coins in your portfolio. If you have more than that, you're out of whack. Like you need someone to talk to you. I promise you, because you're not going to perform well in this bull run. And so some blind squirrel finds a nut, as they say. But at the end of the day, like that's going to be few and far between. So scale yourself out of some of those meme coins and get in some high market cap coins that are going to perform well. Look at the top 50. Matty J, I know you had your hand up, and then we're going to swing it out over to Neil.
I forgot to add on about the NFT conversation, but still relevant going forward, is that I don't think 1 ETH is going to be 1 ETH. We're going to see a little bit of different. I think we might see some different pricing for these big NFT collections. We got crazy last NFT bull run, but
I'm right there with you, Neil. Neil, you had your hand up too. What's up, brother?
Oh, I was just going to say, but what if your meme coin portfolio got bigger than your damn regular portfolio?
Cash out, man. Take those profits and roll. Cash it out. I mean, they're not going to run forever. That's just not how it works. The big money doesn't give a fuck about meme coins. And at some point when retail comes in, neither will they. Honestly, like that's the thing that people got to stop smoking the hopium, that those things are just going to keep running. The actual money that's going to come into the ecosystem doesn't give a rip about meme coins at all. They don't care. It provides no value to the actual world. They're just fun for people to hang out in. That's it. They're fun because we like memes and we laugh and we're the early adopters. But tell you what, when people actually come into this space, guys, you're gonna want to make sure that you have, again, 5 to 10%, no more than 10% of your portfolio in meme coins. It'd be silly to have more than that. And I've been here. I'm just speaking by experience. I don't, sorry. It's J Chains, by the way. You guys want you can shoot me a DM. We can have a conversation. We can look at portfolios. We can talk about some things. I am more than willing to do that. I think that this is like the time to do that. Like if you need to make some adjustments, this would be your absolute opportune time to do that. So if anybody's feeling like maybe they're overexposed to meme coins, slide into my DMs. My account should be here in the space, right? Yeah. Just shoot me a DM. Shoot me a note saying, hey, I got to talk to you about my portfolio.
So 100% into Moodang, right? 100% into Moodang?
Yeah. I mean, that thing is already nuked. Like, if you didn't take your profits when that thing was ripping, like, you're toast. You're going to round trip it, and you're wishing you never did, because those things will go to zero. Trust me. I've taken meme coins, what I thought were going to round trip because they'd come back. They never come back. They go to zero. Like, they become forgotten about. That's the problem. And CTOs, they're great, but they don't usually last. Just being real. There's a very few. Again,
I know we were talking about the kind of meme coins and the entertainment value. I think, was it last week's show or something like that? I think there are some meme coins out there that have that do have the potential. I mean, look at Gotti. Yeah, I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Gotti? Potato, tomato. It's as I say, you kind of. You've got these meme coins that have that good little concept behind it. I mean, one that we very rarely, as a publication, as the Crypto Mag, we usually don't support meme coins as a general rule, because we don't see them as a long-term investment. But from time to time, we do kind of focus on a few of them and mention them. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but we've got this new one that's just launched, Sun Dumb Guy. And the memes that are coming out of that just have me in hysterics. I mentioned it the other day. And I really enjoy looking at them. Every now and again, I'll go through the Twitter account just to see if there's any more really funny ones. And it's like I said to you, they're using the old Chinese proverbs, and turn them into memes. But it's like, I think I said before, it's like man who goes to bed with itchy bum wakes up with stinky finger. And I read that and I lost it. My wife was looking at me going, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "It's just my sense of humor. That really got me." So, I mean, I think there are a few meme tokens out there that do have the potential to go, but it's a general rule of thumb. You're going to see that pump followed by a dump, and it's really hard for them to get back off of that floor again, off of that dump.
Yeah, I mean, again, some have staying power, some and you know, some again, it's not, you shouldn't overly balance your portfolio because you have faith in it, right? And you stay in the community, but you just keep your bag. Like, for instance, you know, we say with Gotti, like, you can't afford not to have one Gotti. Like, for Christ's sake, it's like $200 right now. Like, you could just buy one and sit on that. Like, I'm not saying shift $10,000 of your portfolio over to Gotti. That would. Do you have the potential to make a gazillion dollars? Absolutely, you would. Absolutely. But is that what you need to bank on? No, not at all. Like, you buy the one or two or, you know, maybe five so that you could be in the table or whatever. But like, that's it. Like, you buy what you need so that you could be part of the community. But it's now time to really start thinking like what's gonna be long term for you. Like, how, like, do you want to win this cycle? Or are you just here to have fun? It really depends. Some people are just here for the memes and have fun. Maybe you're fine with your job. You don't want anything different with your life, and that is a-okay. And there's some people that are looking for an absolute change. And I can just tell you, it's your strategy is what's going to either change your life or keep you where you're at. And that's it. And it's listen, there is no shame to the game. Everybody is here for a different reason. Everybody's here for a different rhyme, and that is a-okay. The important thing is that you are here. Right? That you are here in crypto and that you are participating and you are having a good time. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, Matty J.
As a dad investor, I came looking for products. I don't think I even knew what a meme was in 2017 when I was an XRP maxi before the SEC kicked me in the nuts. I came looking for products. You know, that's what I said to myself. Oh, I need to make some money. I've got kids. I'm having a family. I want to make some money, whether it's in the stock market or it's the next new thing, which was what crypto was for me at the time. And I came looking for viable, like like a Warren Buffett approach, where, okay, what's their product? What's their vertical? What are they looking at? Where, you know, so, and their team and all that sort of thing. And
Did he just shrug?
The rug monster.
I think he's got a really bad delay on the line.
Yeah. Mr. Dude and I have been text messaging each other. I said, I think he's got at least like a 5-second delay between what he's hearing and what we're hearing from him for sure. But Matty J, it may be best to pop down and then pop back in. Maybe that'll cure the old delay. But there definitely was one. Thank you for mentioning that, Nathan. You made me not look like the jerk, which was great.
I kept on seeing it, but I didn't. When he was talking, I didn't want to jump in and say it in case it then threw his 5-second delay out even more, and you had to wait another 5 before he then replied.
Oh, and as the actual, so I've told you guys this before. So as the actual host of a show, there is a slight delay between what you have with your speaker panel, and then there is an even longer delay than what your audience has from everyone else, right? And so that was Maddie and I have been actually facing this challenge of this delay the entire show, where I kept talking over him with this delay. So hopefully when he comes back, we've got this thing cured right as we get towards the tail end of the show, which by the way, it is 10:15. And that means at 9:45, I didn't reset the room or welcome all the noobs hanging out with us today. Like, that's one of the beauties of this show, and this is why I love our community so freaking much, is that our conversations are great. Like, this has been a great conversation so far, and I cannot believe, like they say, time flies when you're having fun. It's 10:15. So first off, I want to thank every single person that is here with us. If you are watching the live stream on YouTube, I know there's not many of you are, but there is several of you that are. Thank you so much. Smash the like, which I know you guys are 100%. There's also a poll. I put up a poll on YouTube. So if you wanted to check that out, you can navigate yourself over there. If you are watching on X, I've got my channel, and Mr. Dude's got his channel running the show on X. So we've got almost 200 people watching us. So thank you guys so much for watching us. Definitely means the absolute world to all of us. Hit the heart for yourself for doing that, because you could be doing anything, but you're hanging out with us. So you might as well hit the heart for doing it. And then if you are in the space, if you are here in the space, and you want to chat, raise your hand. Just be respectful. But if you're just sitting in the crowd, you're like, damn, these guys, this is cool. This is your first time here. All you got to do is repost the space out, tag some of your friends, come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. And again, if you do want to come up, hang out, all you got to do is raise your hand. We'll bring you on up here, because that's the point. If you've got something to say about something that we've been talking about, even if you want to take us back to the beginning, you can do that. A-okay with me.
Okay, you know what, we're at the beginning, we were talking about like markets and the Harris and Trump election, like percentages and whatnot. I think one of the craziest things, and I'm like, I don't know if people listening understand this. Do you know who runs Polymarkets? Like, it is a Polygon like ecosystem. It is wild that Polymarkets is so fucking popular, but no one seems to equate the fact that it is Polygon.
Yeah,
like that is insane. But like so if you're listening to this, like, maybe think about taking positions in Pol, which is at like anywhere from like 33 to 50 cents. I never fucking know. Like the all-time high is $3. That is huge heading into the next bull run. Like at some point, people like Thread Guy, right? Like, he's doing a great job with like his stream and putting on like everything Polymarket. At some point, someone like, he's a big account, whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. Like, people are going to start equating this. And like, if you want to be in early, that is a good place to be. Like, go and look at Polygon. It is insanely undervalued. And I also just think, like, Polygon, if you're listening, like, what the fuck? Like, you are dropping the ball, that you are not front running all of the marketing for Polygon market, saying like, this is us, like, scream it from the fucking rooftops.
Well, maybe.
Literally the news.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want that. Right? Like we always talk about, as it's really important, like, what's the key to mass adoption? The key to mass adoption is when we're using the tech without either being told or having to, like,
right,
all that stuff. So now that's the whole thing. People, like, everybody, like, I wouldn't say that it's quite a household term, but I would say we're pretty darn close, because a lot of people understand this, especially if you are following the election, which I would think, it's a good question. I should ask. There's probably a few people that are really paying attention to the election that I could ask if they have heard of the Polymarket or the betting site, right? Because that would be a good indicator if it's becoming more of like a household term, or at least they understand what it is. And then you could be like, well, do you know that it has anything to do with blockchain? They'd be like, no, I have no idea. That's a key right there.
Right, like Theo Vaughn was in his interview with JD Vance. Like, they actually pulled up the Polymarket site.
That's funny. I like his when he asked JD, when he told
do the two of them know it?
Oh, go ahead.
Like, do the two of them know that it's Polygon, right? Like, that's a perfect example of, like, they're talking about it, and like mainstream is using it. You see it on news clips and whatnot, where they use the actual chart as like a Kamala versus Trump. Like, here's what's going on in 50%, whatever, right? Like, no one seems to know. And so you're right on that one point, but Polygon is then dropping the ball, like, in our sphere. Like, they should be telling all the crypto nerds, yo, guys, this is fucking us. Like, you guys are always shitting on Polygon, and look what we've delivered, and you guys idiots are using it and don't even know.
Now that brings up a good point. That is probably a message that needs to be telegraphed, saying, hey, listen, like, buy some Pol. I mean, look, we got probably the one thing that's touching all of the mainstream right now in some way, shape, or form. Not all of it, but you guys get it.
Right.
I speak in generalizations a lot. I think it's probably easier. I know it could get
you
in trouble.
Hard. Like, as a host, you don't know, but as a host, you can't constantly be like, I find it annoying when I do watch things and they constantly break down the fact they're generalizing. It's like, God damn it, people, like, it's okay. Like, we've gone so far backwards that everyone's so afraid of, like, I'm not talking to you specifically. Like I'm talking to everybody. It's like, yeah, like if they don't understand that, they're stupid.
I think with that whole kind of the fact that Polymark is going out to the general public. I mean, when you're kind of trying to onboard the general public from that Web 2 feel into Web 3, it's actually quite a complicated procedure, because even if they started shouting at the public and letting them know and say, look, this is Polygon, the first thing is everyone's going to go, what's Polygon? If they then go, well no, it's on the blockchain, or what's blockchain? It is a really, a lot of people, pretty much everyone outside of crypto, they know that word Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Polygon would mean nothing to them. So I'm guessing what the guys, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably Rock and the guys over at LDA that is rolling this out and dealing with because they incubated Polygon. So I'm guessing it's probably those guys, and I'm guessing they've probably got it kind of in their mind to do. But I think with that mass adoption, you need to roll that out gently, and then eventually let them know, let the users know, by the way, were you aware you've been dealing in cryptocurrency here? Cryptocurrency? Yeah, it's a blockchain called Polygon. This is, and then kind of move from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do totally agree with you, and especially like on Jay made similar points. I mean, like if we look, so I work with the Polygon Champions team, like with Smokey and Mark and Aztec and those guys, but it's like the sentiment on X, crypto Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is negative towards Polygon itself, where like people like us, like we are all in this space every day, they should be marketing it to us like, why are you guys shitting on us? Like we're building the only thing people are literally using right now.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it would. I think from our perspective as crypto enthusiasts and blockchain investors, I think we would assume that Polymarket was part of Polygon, because we understand the industry a lot more. I think even if you try to explain to newbies and people that aren't in the crypto sector, oh, by the way, did you know this is crypto based?
Totally. They're like, what the hell is
I just think they're going to go, what's Polygon? What's a blockchain? It just kind of goes right over their head. So I think stuff like that from a marketing and business angle needs to be dropped gently and slowly, as in like the first stage being, oh, are you aware while you're making these bets, you're actually doing it using crypto? And I go, are we? Blimey, what's this crypto thing? Then they start to investigate that. And I think it's like small steps for that mass adoption element. Just my opinion.
So really quick, while you guys were chatting there, I went to the Polymarket site and then tried to figure out like, okay, like if you wanted to learn some more information, where could you do that, right? And so I'll pull up my thing now. And so ultimately there's a section, why crypto, right? And if I was able to find this in the FAQs all the way down at the end, why do I need USDC? And it says why Polymarket uses crypto and blockchain technology to create the world's largest prediction market. Polymarket operates on Polygon, a proof of stake layer 2 blockchain built on Ethereum. All transactions are denominated in USDC, a US dollar pegged stablecoin. And so you get that information. You get that information on their site. But I will tell you, it wasn't like the easiest thing to find, right? Like this site is definitely set up for you to start betting and for you to get going really quick, I think, once you load your account. But if you wanted to find some information, you had to go down to the bottom and then again navigate to the FAQs and you can figure it out. But it was all the way there at the second to last one. Really interesting. I would think that you would want your message of crypto to be I think a little bit more telegraphed.
I think even with that brief bit, I haven't looked at it, but that brief bit that you'd read out there, I still don't think that would resonate with the global masses, because a number of things you said there, they go pegged, stablecoin, USDC, USDT, again, means nothing to them. So I mean, you need to use from that marketing angle, you need to use a phrase called KISS. It's called keep it simple, stupid. it literally needs to be broken down for these people that aren't in crypto, as if you're explaining to a child, this is cryptocurrency, this is how this works with cryptocurrency. And then, oh, what is crypto? Well, you have stable. Do you know what I mean? It really bite-sized chunks, because I know that if I gave this to my mum or my friend down the street and said, read that under the FAQs, and they'd go straight away, they're going to be asking questions. What's it mean pegged? What's a stable coin? What's USDK? Or what's USDT? They're all the questions that need to be answered in any kind of explanation to the public.
I like that. Sorry, I was just getting a screenshot of something. I mean, at the end of the day, I really do think that it's a big opportunity. It's like, it's like what Karate Combat is, and I would say that Karate Combat is a little bit more vocal about being a crypto offering. Polymarket, probably, or Polygon could take the reins on some marketing. I think that would help some. I wouldn't say damage control of what it is, but I think anytime that you do the rebrand, right? They did the token ticker rebrand. You've got an opportunity to do like a full massive marketing campaign, and that was maybe a missed opportunity where they could have done that and added in there, knowing that this site was getting a lot of attention, and whether they wanted the attention or not because of the political realm, who knows? Maybe afterward, maybe when we get to the Super Bowl, they'll put a big of a marketing push on it. Maybe that's more of a crowd that they want. I don't know. Maybe it all depends on the
I
demographic.
also just like publicly push for a job, so I'm sure if they're listening, that's just like I'm just building my resume.
Maybe we could have a follow-up interview with Sandy. We've already had him in the mag once. We featured him on the front cover. Maybe we can have another interview with him and pose a few questions to him.
There you go. Set it up. Dubai in December.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we can get him into the spaces to answer, to have a chat about Polygon. Do it live, and we'll bring it in the mag.
Love it. I think
I
that'd be a fantastic idea. If you guys want to see that happen, make sure you hit the heart. Make sure that you repost the space out. Make sure you let everybody know that you love this collaboration between the Crypto Magazine and the Web3 Breakfast, because it is crypto's best magazine and best publication by far. And Web3 Breakfast is crypto's best morning show by far. And so it was just a natural collaboration. So the number one thing you can do to show your support, make sure you like the videos, make sure you like the spaces, do all that kind of stuff. And we sure do freaking appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you hanging out with us today. Man, this was fun. It was a good conversation. We didn't run the political show like probably everybody thought we would. There's a lot of clickbait in the title just to get some folks in here. Seems like it worked. But at the end of the day, it is a big week for crypto, guys. And at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, we're going to be A-okay. Your crypto bags are still going to pump, so don't worry. Don't worry. It's all about what you do in your personal life. That is the most important thing, right? And that's why we talk about consistency. It's key. Just do as best you can to improve every single day. 1%. Sometimes it's not going to work. Sometimes you do more than that. Average it out. Just be consistent. Show up. Show up every single day. That's all you can do. Speaking of tomorrow, show up tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern over on the Web3 Breakfast account. We're back over there Tuesday through Friday. I will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern today for the J Chains Crypto Show. You can find that on my account. It'll be on my X and YouTube. So look forward to seeing you there. What other offerings do we got throughout the day? Anybody that's up on the stage got anything going on that they want to mention before we head on out for the day? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. That's it. Ciao for now, friends. You are dismissed from class 1 minute early.